Okay guys, end of the month. I've just got to pop down and pay the bills. So I thought I might do a topic on retiring in rural Japan. One thing you'll notice if you live out in rural areas like I do is that people don't actually retire. The whole retirement thing in the West is fairly recent in history, but that's sort of what everyone works towards, works hard, puts their money away for retirement to do what they want to do when they get older. But the people here, they tend to not change their lifestyle at all. They keep on working and whatever. It's not because they need the money in most cases. It's because of what they've always done. So they don't have like a massive lifestyle change that you see in the West. People hit 65 or whatever, and they go off and do other stuff. And I think it's because the lifestyle out here, even when you're under retirement age, is pleasant. So it's not like living in an apartment somewhere or living in the suburbs and doing the 9 to 5 grind for 40 years, waiting for the time when you can do what you want. There's not much difference with what people do. Because it's still pleasant. Maybe they slow down a little bit, but the activities that they do doesn't change much at all. Quite a few people in my area of the village, they're still farming, and it's not because they need to work, it's because they enjoy it. They like being outside. They still draw a pension. Pensions are quite small in Japan, but it's still enough to live on if you own your own house. But they still do the farming. Maybe they don't farm as many apples or whatever, but they still do it, and they still enjoy it, and they don't see an age like a 65 in their mind or a 67 in their mind as sort of a change of life period. So many people work really hard and wait till they're 65 to do what they want, and a lot of people don't make it to 65 for whatever reason, and a lot of people don't live much longer than 65. I think the average sort of age for men and women's around about 73 to 77 in the West, average lifespan sort of thing. So people's really only got maybe 6 years of retirement to do what they want. So it's a personal decision whether you want to take the sort of hit in income and move out to a rural area, or move to another country like Japan and just take a hit in income and sort of enjoy a semi-retirement sort of lifestyle. You're not going to have all your luxuries, but you have a lot of things to do, and there's a lot of things that are worthwhile. It's not all about money. Spending a day out in the garden or spending a lot of time growing your own veggies doesn't make a lot of financial sense, but you get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and that's what living life is, isn't it? Okay, just heading back. So it's a totally different mindset in Japan, and I find it quite refreshing than sort of all the talk that you hear in the West, that you need like $10 trillion in your superannuation or your 401k or whatever, and people stress out, and it seems that it's a bit of overkill. Saving for so long. So I find the sort of mentality quite refreshing, that people don't just sort of stop life, so to speak. They just keep going, and they enjoy what they do, and they can do a lot of other things, obviously. I've got a couple of students that are of retirement age, and they farm grapes, and they do it just for fun money. So the money they get from their grapes, they go on a holiday somewhere. They might pop across to Korea or Taiwan or Guam or somewhere like that, just have a small holiday, or somewhere in Japan, and they treat their little retirement job as fun money. They might farm vegetables part-time, sell them into the JA, get a little bit of money, and they might treat their grandkids with a nice gift or whatever. It's not really a big lifestyle change. That's sort of the point I want to tell people, is that they really enjoy it. And it's what they've done all their life. They've lived out here all their life, and it's quite surprising the amount of well-travelled people, because successful farmers in Japan, they make a decent living compared to an office worker. There's a lot of tax perks and things like this, being a farmer. And their primary residence, if they're paying it off or whatever, their bills that come into their residence as they're running their farm, would certain percentage of that would be taken care of by their business. So not only is there a lifestyle thing as well, there's a financial benefit. The big salary workers in the main cities that are on $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year, obviously they do a lot better, but they're stuck in apartments and under a lot of stress and taking the train and things like this. I don't know for most people if that's worth it or not. So as for myself, I open my cafe 3 days a week, and I don't foresee that changing unless something happens with my health or something like that. If I get really old and decrepit, I might just turn it into a takeaway pizza shop or something like that, but I don't see my lifestyle changing much as I get older at all. I'm enjoying it. I like the fresh air, I like the people, and I don't really have any wants to go on some cruise or something like that. There's a lot of peace can be had. So this is something to think about. Doesn't have to be so much about Japan. It can be just your own personal life. If you're in a bit of a rut or whatever, you can always change it around. It seems the world population's on a move. Everyone's immigrating everywhere and sort of opening up, and there's lots of good places to live, and there's lots of good places to live in Japan as well. So just putting some thought out there. So that's a quick topic on what people do at retirement age out here in rural Japan. Anyway, I've got to go in, and I've got a busy couple of days. I've got a lot of work to do around the garden and tidying up more around the wood stack. So anyway, as always, hope you liked the video.
Let's go work.